The time of year for mentorship is coming in. Our new mentorship class will be beginning Friday, August the 16th for Level 1 students. Level 2 students, Friday, August the 23rd. And our continuing mentorship students will begin Saturday, August 4th. And we have a very special announcement. For those of you who would like to purchase the mentorship and the live event coming in October, we have a Together special where you will save $500 when you buy both of them. We have payment plans available also. You will be getting, as usual with our mentorship class, 8 hours of group teachings. That's 4 2-hour classes you meet every other week. You will also have 2 private sessions with me. For those that are in the level 1, we'll have 2 half-hour sessions with me. Those in the level 2 will have 2 45, and anybody in the ongoing mentorship will have 2 1-hour sessions with me. You can save these sessions, they're good for life, or you can use them during the mentorship journey. You will be able to come and share that community journey by coming to the event, having that community journey with the mentorship people, and I look forward to seeing you at the live mentorship at the event coming in October. Thanks, everybody.
Hello, I'd like to invite you to embark on this transformational workshop as you journey to become an ancestral medium. Are you ready to learn how to speak to the ancestors in a sacred way? Would you like to learn how to receive wisdom and teachings from your spirit team of elders? Join me as we learn how to set up ancestral communication. We also visit the ancestral hub of interconnectivity. We learn how to set up the Dreamer's Lodge among the soul family members. Also ancestral medium revocation soul surgery. We also connect to the grandmothers and grandfather collectives, plus many more ancestral teachings and techniques for you to connect to your guides and guardians. Join me on the 22nd of September, 5 p.m. till 9 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. till 4 p.m. East, as we journey to meet the ancestors. I look forward to seeing you on this journey, and to book, visit daletobin.com, and there's a contact form on there for you to book on. Thank you, and see you soon.
The Galactic Historian team is coming to you this October 26th through the 29th for a 4-day U.S. event set in the picturesque Willamette Valley, a place known for its healing potential, nestled in the heart of beautiful wine country.
Hello, I'm Andrew Bartzis, the Galactic Historian. Join me and our incredible team of spiritual guides for an unforgettable experience at the Living the Mystical Life Daily 3 Conference and the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat.
Hello, I'm Laura Massey of Two Feathers Medicine. This event is a unique opportunity to connect deeply with yourself and a like-minded community as we embark on a journey of sacred self-mastery and living our mystical lives daily.
Hello, I'm Dale Tobin from Symmetry of Health. At this event, you'll get the opportunity to sample our innovative combined healing therapy for yourself, including the rare Lucia light and all the new ambisonic therapy chamber, a 3D sound experience designed to guide you into a deep state of relaxation and rejuvenation.
Hello, I'm Amy Kruzic from Universal Citizen Media. We're excited to bring you in-person presentations, live demonstrations, and immersive group healing experiences that will elevate your spiritual practice.
Day 1 and 2 will feature the highly anticipated Living the Mystical Life Daily Number 3 Conference, discovering new teachings, guided meditations, and captivating presentations by myself and our incredible team.
And days 3 and 4 will take you on a mystical journey without use of drugs or hallucinogens at the No Drug Mystical Experience Retreat. Immerse yourself in guided healing journeys and a multi-dimensional sound experience.
Together, we'll dive deep into healing and self-discovery, utilizing state-of-the-art technologies and ancient wisdom.
And with the Manifest package, early bird tickets are available until July 31st, 2024 for just $2,000. Secure your spot today and enjoy exclusive bonus offers and additional perks.
Don't miss this incredible opportunity for growth and healing.
And meet us in person in the beautiful Willamette Valley.
And elevate your spiritual practice with all new teachings from the Galactic Historian team.
Join us in Oregon on October 26th through the 29th, 2024. Reserve your spot today and embark on a journey of transformation, connection, and mystical exploration.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Talking Stick Show. So I'd like to welcome the host. We have the great Andrew Bartzis. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, everybody. How's it going today?
Hello. And we have the Two Feathers medicine specialist, Laura Massey.
Hi everybody, great to be here.
Great to see you. So we've got the call-in show today. So the link is in the description. If you want to come in, call in and have a reading, come onto the Zoom room, come have a chat. So the description's in the link. So how are things going for you, Andrew? How's this week been gone for you?
I had no internet for 5 straight days, and then suddenly at around 8:30 on Sunday, internet came back on, and now I'm catching up to all the work that I couldn't do straight from a phone. Very weird having no internet for 5 straight days. We had power. Here where I live at, we had 4 separate tornadoes touch down in a big semicircle around the northeast area where I live. And so about 500,000 people were out without power, and another 500,000 people without internet. And the tornado that touched down 4 miles from my house was on the ground for about, they said, for about 5 miles, 4.5 miles. And right where it ended is the main cell tower that delivers all the internet to the broadband. So the tower was actually hit by the tornado, and it tore off shit, and they had to refix it. And parts of the area where the tornado literally looks like a war zone. It's like somebody just came in and uprooted trees, tipped everything over. And then on Sunday night into Monday morning, I had a really weird experience where I was outside getting myself ready to calm down for the night. It was like 2:30 in the morning, and I heard this giant boom, and it was a car hitting something. And where my house is situated, we're all on 3-acre lots, and so about a quarter mile away. And for it being that loud, it must have been a really big accident. And then maybe 8, 10 seconds, 12 seconds, maybe a little longer after that, it sounded like 2 gunshots and a lady screaming and yelling. So I called the police, and they said, yes, we got a report also. And then I'm sitting out here. I'm like, I can hear the police sirens coming. And I hear a lady talking on a cell phone and a person next to him. I'm like, something's not right here. So I call the police back, and say there's a lady on a cell phone walking down the street and a guy next to her who doesn't try to look like not next to her. Cops come around the corner and immediately the woman yells, starts screaming, "Don't take me to jail! Don't take me to jail!" And then the guy disappeared, and there was a 3-hour flashlight search by the police to try to find this guy, and he escaped.
Wow.
But all the while, during that time, I was sitting here listening, in case the cops wanted to call back or whatever. I would randomly look up, and all of a sudden, a meteor would go off right as I was looking up. And that happened 2 different times during the night, 3 different times. And oddly enough, the west side of my sky would randomly bright light, like there was lightning in the background, but no sound. And we were having major solar storm events going on. We had 3 separate CMAs come into Earth contact at the same time. And the entire time, Spirit was speaking to me that this was an ancestral moment, a very clear and devised moment, not just between me and the person and the police, but the moment of listening to the neighborhood. So the cops were there for about 2.5 hours. And after they left, I just had this moment where I'm sitting and listening to the silence of the neighborhood. And I remembered something. Not a single freaking dog barked during the entire time they were questioning this woman or the car accident. And we have a very heavy neighborhood, okay?
Yeah.
And they bark at everything. Not a single dog barked during that 2.5 hours.
Wow. And why do you think that is? What do you think that could be? Is why they didn't bark?
That particularly weird ancestral moment.
Ah, okay.
As I said, between me, the police, and everything in between, and my own personal challenges and growth of life. Okay.
So what happened in a different layer of reality?
I wasn't looking at the other layers because I would randomly have this moment. Can I sense the person? Can I sense the person? And the whole time, my mind is like, he's here. He's within earshot. Because this woman's voice was loud as fuck. Clearly, she was drunk. Clearly, she was on something. And her voice was so loud compared to the police officers, it echoed through the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And from where I was, where they arrested her, had to have been at least 100 yards.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you said, did you hear a gunshot then? Did you say?
It sounded like 2 gunshots.
Okay.
I don't know if there were gunshots, but the next morning I drove out to see if there was any accident damage. And here in the States, we have these special metal guardrails that have wood posts in them. And right on the edge of my street where it turns onto the street, and it was folded up like a pretzel, like 7 sections of it, so like a 40-foot section. Well, and I don't know how they walked away alive from that. People die in that shit all the time.
Wow.
Let alone walk away and then the person got away.
So did you say they arrested the person who was doing it all then? They got him?
No, the lady, she said she wasn't driving.
Okay. Yeah.
So she was a passenger. And as I said, there was the whole time, I'm like, he's close. I can sense it. He's close. And Spirit would have me quiet my mind and try to get out of whatever she was saying, because the cops were interrogating her hard. They were not giving her an easy time. Okay? Hardcore. And she's denying everything. And then there's a moment she broke down and admitted everything. Okay? Yeah. But I felt like he was close. And then after everything left and there was no other voices, oh, he's long gone. And that was trying to show me to listen beyond the words. Okay? I was trying to find him. And every time you try to force to find something in the spirit world, you will be led astray.
Yes. Wow. So for those who have just come in as well, if you'd like to come on and have a reading, please raise your hand. So if you go into the react button, there we go. We've got one person who'd raised their hand. So we're going to bring Elria on we're going to use the signal to unmute. There you go. Joel, are you okay? I don't think, Joel, you'll have to do it. Perfect. Yeah. Hello, Elria, are you there?
Hello, yes, I am.
Hello. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from the UK in Wales.
Lovely. So tell us a little bit about yourself then.
Well, I've only been following you guys for probably the last month. I just happened to come across you just by obviously one of those coincidences, you know. So I've literally just been sort of binge watching the last sort of couple of weeks.
What have you learned?
I've learned a lot. I've actually had a bit of a rude awakening actually about it was around the COVID time. So I've been through quite a lot of emotional stuff. So I feel a bit stuck at the moment. Really stuck. It's a weird one. So I just wondered whether you could maybe see what's going on.
What do you do for a job?
I did work as a sales ops manager and a product manager for a medical manufacturer pre-COVID. But with everything that went on, I was really stressed, and I obviously found out that the whole 50 years has been a complete and utter lie, and it really, really affected me mentally. So I walked away from a really, really good job, and I took a year off. I was lucky enough to be able to do that. And then I started working in a dental practice as a receptionist for 3 days. But I've since had a new job. I do export and import documentation for a caravan company 2 days a week.
So it's fair to say once your world crashed down with your awakening, you kind of gave up on life.
No, I had a very stressful job. It was a very well paid job, but it was just too much for one person.
So how's that?
It was so bad.
How is that? All right, I'm going to be a little tough. I'm going to be a little tough for you first.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Go ahead. I missed that bit. You cut out a little bit.
What you just said. How is that not giving up?
Well, it was a balance basically, because I was working like probably 18 hours a day, and it was affecting my sleep because I had like 25 projects on the go. And I tried my best, obviously, but it was just too much for one person. I spoke to them, but I think it was the combination of the amount of work I had to do and also everything else that I'd discovered as well. It was just too much of a wow.
Is that not giving up? How is that not giving up?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't think I would have been able to sustain it emotionally or mentally.
Giving up is not necessarily a bad term, but your question
okay.
is stuck.
Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah, I gave up because if I hadn't have given up, then I probably wouldn't be talking to you now.
Now you have to figure out how to ungive up, reverse the giving up, because that's what's affecting you right now. You were so overloaded. There's an innate worry inside you. You will just repeat the same mistake. Therefore, it's going to stop you at every level from expanding.
Okay, that makes sense, because what I've noticed is I've gone into like the healing side of things, because when I was a healing practitioner, and I ended up doing a healing practitioner course, which was like a 12-month course. I finished my case studies, put them in, never really intending to do anything with it, but I just did it anyway. But what I've noticed is I feel, you are right, I feel stuck. It's as if I haven't got that drive that I used to have. It's like, everything is like, I've lost the joy and the oomph. That's a Welsh term, by the way, oomph.
So we know that very well, that term in England.
So the woman you were before you gave up was a powerful on-the-go person. Would you agree?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So when you gave up on her.
Okay.
The powerful on-the-go woman, and you've got to invite her back into your life.
Okay.
There it is. That original person who did all that work before she was burned out, that woman who's inside you, you gave up on her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You need her. You need her
Yes.
because she's integrated in all parts of your success.
Yes. I don't know where she's gone.
Daryl, Lord, you guys want to add anything there?
So as I'm like reading you and looking at you, it's like you've caged yourself into a cage, and you can't understand what the cage is around you, and you can't understand how you can get out. Are you free? Are you not free? And these are some of the questions going on for you all the time. How can I get out of where I'm at? And for me, and this obviously show's called the prayer grounds. What would be very important for you is to start setting up your own prayer grounds where you're allowing yourself to connect to freedom, connect to empowerment of the self, and have some regularly time where you can write down words which are going to empower you and allow you to remember the greatness in yourself, allow you to bring confidence and joy and happiness back by saying the words to the universe, saying the words to your body, allowing yourself to be more in the body because you're out your body most of the day. You're allowing all of the programs to kick you out your body, take over your life. And it's now time to start saying no. I'm no longer boxed in this cage. I allow myself to ignite my freedom, the core of who I am again, because I'm ready to sing my own song. And I'd highly advise you to go on Andrew's website and look at their revocations and invocations, especially the shaman's death for you, and start regularly having a place where you can read out these revocations to fortify your reality again, where you're stable, you're free, but you're strong. Have you seen any of the revocations Andrew's made on the website before?
I've seen one of them, but I can't remember. I think the one I saw was the one about the government and obviously not. There's different ones, isn't there? I think that's the one I've seen.
Yeah,
I got a question for you. Have you been having weight challenges recently?
Weight challenges?
Yeah.
No, but I've lost weight, but I wouldn't call it a challenge. I've been off sugar, dairy, and wheat because I've been to see a naturopath. So,
okay, you're off. How long you been off the sugar, all the sugars and weights and stuff?
Okay, so I did the sugar for probably about 10 weeks, and I was very, very strict. But I'm not so strict now. I'm back on. I obviously eat fruit, but when I was strict, I was only eating berries. But now I'm back on it, and I'm back eating like bananas and all the other fruits now as well.
So what is your main proteins?
Meat. Yeah.
And what kind of meat generally are you having?
Beef normally, but I do have chicken, but it's mainly beef, organic beef from the farm.
Do you like lamb or any of the other kinds?
Yeah, I like chicken. I'll have chicken as well. I eat a lot of fish as well. I've started eating more fish.
So as you're going to restart and do stuff, it's going to be very important that you really pay attention to the part of you who skips meals every day. It skips 2 meals a day, every day. And there's going to be a point where you can just write down, did I skip a meal today? What did I actually eat at the end of the day? You're going to discover part of the depression you put into yourself is you have inconsistent fuel in your gut.
Do you know
when
what?
you need fuel, you don't have it available. And then you binge to eat it, and then you go without meals again.
Yes, I do. Sometimes I'll skip breakfast because I used to do that fast. I used to do like was it 16 hours, and I just used to eat in the 8-hour.
Don't do that anymore. It's actually detrimental for you to get out of the stuck energy you're in.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You need consistent fuel.
Yeah.
And if you could work a way to, when you're preparing your meals, to do what Dale said, get a prayer type energy and empower that food with some of your energy. You took an energy course, you should know how to put energy into things, including your food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I just feel.
Yeah. Hold on. When you were at the old job, did you have to wear like business clothes and stuff like that?
Yes. Yeah. I was. Yeah.
When's the last time you?
I didn't have to, but I did.
When's the last time you wore your business clothes?
when I worked at the dental practice, I just had a uniform, like a dental nurse uniform. But since I've had my new job started beginning of June, I've got them back out again. But they're not my business clothes. They're just smart clothes.
Okay, smart clothes. So what I want you to do is pull out your original business clothes.
Okay.
Wear them an hour here, an hour there, and go through the process of reinitializing, like, what was the ritual you did to get yourself ready in the morning to go to work? Because you don't do that anymore. There was something you did in the morning to prepare yourself, the way you look, the way you wore your clothes, and it was a very powerful self-care thing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, I think I have to make more effort.
Beyond effort. This is not about effort. This is about reintroducing you to the old person and the old energies. Laura, what can you say about the old clothing and how they affect people's energies?
Yeah, they hold you back and they can help you go forward as well. So I was just going to say, Andrew, one of the things you said to me was to put on those stilettos.
Yep.
Do you remember that? You said,
I remember that, yes.
Yeah, I want you to stomp about in your stilettos, you said to me, because Hilary, that was part of the returning of the self-empowerment we had and then we lose. Because I went down. So in your awakening, was it a bit of a shock to you, some of the things you discovered?
Oh my God, yeah. And I was alone.
Okay, so how did you balance out? Because some of that will make you feel quite negative. How did you balance that out in your life? Did you have any spiritual practice then? Any prayer practice?
Oh gosh, no. I've always prayed because I've always prayed. Most nights I prayed ever since I was a child. So I've always prayed. But other than that, it was a very, very lonely place until I discovered some other people who actually knew what was going on as well. And it was like, oh, thank God for that. Oh, sorry. I thought, thank God for that. I'm not going mad, you know, because I honestly thought that I must be going nuts. I must be going absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I mean, that's nothing now. I mean, I'm over that. I mean, mentally, I feel as if I'm in a really, really good place. But it's just emotionally and physically, I just feel like, you know, I don't really know if I want to be doing therapies and, you know.
Hold on a second. You just said you're in a good place, but emotionally and physically you're not. So the answer is
no, I know. I've just contradicted myself. I know.
I've just contradicted yourself. Okay.
Yeah, the majority of the time, I should say, the majority of the time, I'm okay. But sometimes I just feel as if.
No,
you know,
that's a lie. That's a lie too. That's 100% a lie too.
It's
all the cover it up very good.
Yeah. Sometimes I do feel, oh my God, I feel on top of it and I feel amazing and I feel, no, seriously now, this is, I am being really truthful here.
I understand that because I believe that happens, but there's always a moment afterwards where you go back down, go very high, and then there's an opposite of going back low.
Yes, it's as if
get in between.
Yes, that's what I feel. So I'm like, I'm on a high and I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. And then all of a sudden then it's like you're walking down the street and you're suddenly just rugby tackled and you're fucking taken right down again. And it's like, oh my God. And it's a cycle.
Right, that's the give up energy. The day you gave up, giving up is not a bad thing. That is affecting you to this day. So one of my recommendations to you is you got to put out your real business clothes. Okay. What time would that old job you had? What time would you leave? Would you get up in the morning to get yourself ready?
I would probably get up at about 6:30.
Okay, and to be at work at what time?
By about 8.
Oh, so you had an hour and 45 minutes to get ready and get to work, is what you're saying?
Yes. I put the snooze on sometimes, so I'd probably get up about.
So after you got up and you took your shower and you were assembling your clothes, did you have your clothes ready from the night before? What was your ritual of getting ready to go to work?
I would usually choose my clothes the night before.
Okay. I want you to try doing that 2 days a week.
Okay.
and choose the business outfit you're going to wear from the night before.
Yeah.
And then when you get up in the morning, do what you would normally try to get up at 6:30 like you did the last time, and feel yourself getting you ready for work, even if you're not going to work that day. Preferably, you're going to do this on a day you wouldn't go to work, so that you can find that old cycle of energy. And something else I'm going to recommend you doing is you learn to put the clothes on in a very slow state and feel the old energy. Okay? That it will be that overwhelmed, the tired, the overworked energy. And you want to get that energy out of the clothes, but get to the core woman who wore them. And this is going to be a ritual of remembering and letting go. You're letting go of the stressed out, remembering the powerful woman. And I told Laura about the high heels. Did you wear heels at work?
Oh, always.
Okay.
Always, yeah.
Once a week, I want you to put on the high heels and walk around your house completely naked for at least an hour. Okay.
My husband's going to be delighted.
He'll be delighted.
He'll be delighted.
And there's a reason. When women put on heels, and I've been wearing them for a long time, it creates a very different body posture and energy that comes out of you. And it's a mechanic inside you, and that mechanic isn't there from wearing the high heels.
Yeah, I can understand that now. Yeah, that just makes complete sense.
Okay? It would be a good idea for you to bring some sage on the old clothes and regularly letting go of the old energy. I'm letting the old energy out so I can get to know the original woman, the powerful woman who wore these clothes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then after you've done that a while, wear the business clothes to the new job. It's okay to go overdressed. Okay.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, that's fine. Amazing. Thank you.
This is all about making you feel good.
Yeah.
And really good about yourself. And I think what Andrew was saying earlier, I have had to change and I'm still learning to now, change what I wear so I can keep up with every growth I have. Every spiritual growth spurt that I have at times requires me to actually change my outerwear too.
Yeah.
Or all my clothes in some way. And sometimes I go back to old clothes, as Andrew was saying, to pick up old energies, but with a new me.
Okay. That makes sense.
Although you're picking up the old energies, it's all the good that was in those old energies. It's all that self-empowerment that was in that business suit.
Yeah.
And what you'll discover by regularly doing this every week, you'll discover the point in which you gave up. And it'll be very easy to ungive up, to choose not to give up. And it'll begin to break down that program who gave up. And you gave up because you were burnt out. That is the truth inside of you. Okay?
Yeah, it is.
As I said, it doesn't make a bad thing. It was just a hard choice. That hard choice came with the trauma of recovery afterwards, because you had reached a point where you should have done this years before. Okay?
Yes.
Or figured out a workaround where you weren't working so much. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. They are wonderful. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for calling in.
Yeah, well, thank you for your advice, everybody.
Great talking to you.
Lovely.
Thanks very much.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye. Yeah, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome. All right, Dale, let's move to the next caller.
Yeah, so if you want to come on and have a call, please raise your hand. So in the emotion page, you've got the raise your hand. Just please put that in the chat and we'll put you on as well. How's it going then, Laura and Andrew? That was a great call.
Yeah, it was. Very synchronistic, isn't it?
There we go. So we've got Daniel, who's
yes.
the denim. As Dave mentioned as well, the denim on the show. Like, Laura, that denim.
The denim teaching.
There we go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, Daniel, are you there?
Hey, guys.
Hi. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Mount Shasta. So I called in like 3 or 4 months ago. And I was we were talking about writing, and you were recommending that I I do more writing. I have to make it part of my spiritual practice and like act out characters.
I remember. Did you do it?
Okay, I did. And not as much as I should have, I'll be honest, but I have made it more of a regular thing. And I've been like collecting a lot of recordings and writing a lot more and filling up many pages. And I decided too, because when we were talking, you were asking like, what's my longest story I ever wrote? So I decided to just focus on one story and just see what happens if I build out into that as much as possible.
And what happened?
It was interesting. It was cool. I just I don't know, I've probably filled up maybe 10 pages or so, and then many more that I have in audio recordings that I need to take the time to transcribe.
Okay, so there are some AI transcription programs out there that might be worthwhile in your investment.
Okay. For sure. I know about this.
One is called Descript, and there's a bunch of others that are a monthly service that you recharge your credits. If you have lots of voice recordings, it's worthwhile to get an AI transcription, because then you can just listen to the recording and making sure it didn't make a mistake here or there, which it will do, but the mistakes will be minimal depending on if it's understanding, if you're using an accent or you're half mumbling or the microphone's weird to the positions. Okay. And that will help you getting back to the original high creative person who was in the high flow of voice versus typing.
Yeah, I kind of default on typing.
Good.
But I have noticed that there is like different mental emotional states I can get into if I just do the voice.
Right. Which is when you've had too much computer energy, you break to the voice. Or if you're out hiking or doing something and you just have the energy to do it. Okay. It will help your creative energy. And then adding that AI transcription program in saves hundreds of hours of typing for you. And the next thing you know, 10 pages is 25.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. That sounds fantastic. I like the idea because like sometimes ideas will come to me when I'm just driving or especially in nature. It's like so easy to channel stuff in nature. It's just endless ideas come to me.
What kind of story did you decide to write?
I decided to really like double down on a Sky City story because I mentioned that I really like Sky Cities. And so I was writing like a multi-dimensional time traveling Sky City story about like a whole civilization that's created after the planet gets taken over by a giant storm that destroys the whole surface. And then they have to get off the surface and they go into this whole Sky City, but it's kind of dystopian. And there's like a whole series of events that kind of take part where the whole society is like in peace for 1,000 years, but then it starts to crumble as things kind of get revealed. And it's sort of tropey, but I don't know. I'm just having fun with it.
Good. So a good idea for you to do is write a timeline for your story.
I've been thinking of that lately. That's great.
It makes it so much easier to on the fly create a reference to before the storm or after the storm. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any other
questions? Can I ask you a question, Daniel? Have you ever done a gut cleanse before?
A what cleanse?
A gut cleanse, colon cleanse.
Yeah, so last time we talked, you were recommending or Andrew or one of you guys were recommending I do a parasite cleanse. So I did a full parasite cleanse, which went fairly well, and it had like included in it like a colon cleanse. But I've never done a gut cleanse.
So
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cool. So what did the parasite cleanse? What did you shit out? Metaphorically.
I don't really know. I mean, it kind of honestly just threw off my biorhythm a lot, and I had like a really good workout routine I was in, and it kind of just threw it off, and it kind of feel like it messed my my whole daily rhythm up quite a lot.
Because the parasites were feeding on 30 to 50% of your calories.
So
the parasites were eating 30 to 50% of your calories.
Oh, wow.
How do you feel now after you've done it?
All right. I also ended a relationship that wasn't too good. And
While you were on the cleanse?
No, after the cleanse.
Yeah, it very happens a lot. What was wrong?
Yeah.
What was wrong with the relationship?
What was wrong with it?
Yeah.
I don't know. There was just a lot of patterns that she was going into, and I guess we were both going into together. And she kind of left for a while, and then it probably should have ended when she left, but then she kind of came back, and it was just like a lot of patterns of like bad communication, and then kind of control, and her trying to like control me and control what I was doing and who I was around and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was kind of like very self-involved with everything in her life, but not really focused on other people.
And so you end up doing a parasite cleanse and you get rid of a parasite.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird though, man. An ex-girlfriend, I ended up like kind of reconnecting with her, and then some really weird shit happened, and I've had like a lot of like black magic-y Mason stuff try to catch me and keep grabbing at me. So I've been clearing that as much as I can, and I've also cleared that relationship out, and I'm just like working on clarifying lately.
So my recommendation to you moving forward is you've already got a workout plan. You need to make a creativity plan.
Okay.
Dedicate a number of days in your calendar where, opposite of whatever your work schedule you got going on, these are your high creativity days. Are you working now?
Yeah, and actually I wanted to talk a little bit about that, but if we have time.
Yeah, what are you doing now?
I'm a business consultant for technology companies, and I'm focusing a lot on AI change management and strategizing for how companies can adapt to AI.
Okay.
But
and what
just doing kind of.
What type of boom are you experiencing in clientele?
Well, so I work for a consulting firm, so I'm just kind of at the whim of what they do right now. But I'm helping them at like kind of build a whole strategy into how they can survive AI and just how they can adapt it really well. But in general, like I'm just working with one client at the moment because we're just sort of assigned a client. And since I started with him, I've just been assessing their whole organization and building out strategies for what they can do.
Okay. Does this strategies include changing their rules, policies, and procedures books?
I mean, it kind of could, like their rhythm of business and like their standard operating procedures could be sort of part of that.
You don't incorporate the rules, policies, and procedure change that goes up to the board and to all the C-suite. Everything you do will be for naught and useless.
I think it's not that high because so it could be that high for the company that I work directly for, the firm, but not for my client because my client's like Microsoft, and so we can only do stuff on like whoever my client's organization is.
I get that part, but this is something for you to work on so that when you end up getting another client that you can do that, you can present to your consulting firm, I have an idea that might be able to be a broad spectrum input on a lot of these big Fortune 500 companies who have these massive management systems that use rules, policies, and procedures. And it's a way we could implement changes a lot earlier and more effective.
So you're saying as part of the strategy to target the policies at a foundational level?
Yeah, the actual rules, policies, and procedure books, all the top 4 Fortune 500 companies have, because that also is their corporate culture, that book. Now, a lot of companies ignore the rules, policies, and procedures, but there are quite a few that really follow them as strict. It's how they can keep corporate wisdom when people are fired and lost. These are the experiences that we've had because people record stuff into them. Generational knowledge, very important for modern companies.
Right.
And rules, policies, and procedures are a way for board to impress upon C-suite, and C-suite to impress on middle management are core principles and the way to treat people, treat certain situations and subject matters. And if you have a section on there for AI-assisted management and people that are using AIs, that they have to be managed differently, okay? You can't just assume what the person is writing in a report is going to be translated, because they don't understand the AI. They don't understand the mechanics of what it takes to learn it and implement it over a corporate system. Therefore, if it's included into the rules, policies, and procedures, those people that are managing the AI-driven software people will have a better understanding of what their actual job is. IT is terribly misunderstood from the corporate level. You know that, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely, man. I literally had to describe to a principal of the company that I work at once what a graphics card was and why NVIDIA was so important.
Right. Okay. And you got to assume stupidity and take that on to your next leveling the strategy, because there's going to be an understanding. In my view, the vast majority of big corporations will terribly fail at implementing AI. And then the lawsuits will come and the risk department will take over, and most of them will throw off AI, be forced to rehire, and then they will use AI completely the wrong way, because risk management will not allow the AI to take over certain functions because of the lawsuit risks.
Did you say, Andrew, that people were getting sued in law firms already for it, doing mistakes?
Yes, there's already a whole bunch of lawsuits going on because an AI was given the choice and there wasn't the right level of board to management oversight. Okay. The board told the operator to do this, and the operator said, don't do that. It's going to fail miserably. And it did. And it cost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay. The rollout of AI is going to be the hardest thing for corporate America and corporate world to do. And if you plan a strategy for taking over for somebody who had a failed implementation, you know that your change in rules, policies, and procedure can help that company recover from it and still save some of its investment on AI. That's what I'm trying to impart to you.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know if we ever really...
You don't. Nobody in AI is doing that. And another thing to understand, all the people doing AI that are going to be using it for office management, all that's going to be self-started. There's no college to teach you at AI how to be at your personal assistant.
Right.
Which else you may want to tell your company to do.
Do what?
Have a continuing education credits that teaches people how to use an AI to make their job easier.
Oh, yeah. I was working that into our strategy. So we're kind of doing like a 3-prong approach. One is enablement, which is like education stuff. The other one is like our custom tools and what we're using and what we're custom building for our co-pilots and AI assistants. And then the other one is how we're actually adapting and changing our direct services. So they all kind of spiral together.
Right. Okay. It's now have you ever worked with a risk management team?
No, I'm sure we have experience somewhere at the firm though, but that's actually a really good thing I should incorporate.
You absolutely should create your own little version of white paper so that a risk management team would understand what it means to bring AI into a system that's been run by people that have law-based responsibilities. Like certain people have fiduciary responsibilities, and AI can't have a fiduciary responsibility.
Right.
It's very important that if you prepare that, it will next level you to some top level C-suite meetings where risk management, you're speaking their language. Okay.
Right.
Okay?
That's actually brilliant.
That can put you up your money earned big time.
Yeah, I think that would also couple together with security practices. Because the CEO of Microsoft was actually saying they did a shift the past few months where they were saying that the thing that screws them up with AI is security. Like if that's the way that they fail at it, is that they don't handle security correctly.
And they let DEI take over the programming end of it.
They let what take over?
Diversity, equity, inclusion take over it.
Oh, Yeah, fucking God.
Every AI has failed because of that. Okay.
Yeah, that program is just such an annoying creature, man.
And you're going to have to possibly create a paper on the risks of allowing DEI to guide a AI that will inevitably create risks of lawsuit.
Right. Yeah, actually,
Okay?
shit, that'd be a fun paper to write.
There you go. Okay. So if you work
I like that.
writing for a risk management team, and let's say you go to your manager and go, hey, I've come up with some ideas that are next level strategies. I'd like to run them across to you. I'm writing it to an idea of that a board has a risk management team, and I want to target them so they understand the implementation and some of the things we'd like to help change, like rules, policies, and procedures books.
Yeah, that's so I can do that. Right now we already have a lot moving right now, and I'm leading one of our sub organizations. I did a presentation in front of the whole company, got an award, and so I've got everyone's ear. Right now we're focusing on, actually tomorrow I'm doing a presentation on one of our first applications of it, which is just general strategy and change management AI. But I can put into it, I'm making it modular, so I could put into it, part of the module is policies, rules, procedures, risk management, and security.
Yes. As well as something on that's specifically for the risk management. Because risk management generally is not going to be included in any types of AI implementation. It's only afterwards when you come in and run the risk analysis.
Yeah, people are afraid of it, but they're not actually like, they just say, oh, there's a risk, but they're not actually like really taking a look at it.
Right. And if you add that as a module, even if it's not fully fleshed out, you could even say in there, this is going to require a team of brainstorming and somebody that has risk management background for this to be fleshed out into module level 3, 4, and 5 for high level risk management who want white papers on the potentialities of lawsuits.
Yeah, that's brilliant, man. I like overlooked a lot of that stuff because it's not as exciting, but
but you're the
great.
job where you're implementing these new implementation and marketing strategies, and marketing an AI directly to a board versus the C-suite should be far more important in my view. And it's something you may want to bring up to your team members, board level presentations with the C-suite present and the risk management and everybody there, so they understand this has to be a top-down thing. It can't just be a COO's mission to industrialize the new business.
Yeah.
It has to be top-down.
That's really interesting. And then you can kind of fractal, like iterate down into the other organizations to really help them build out all of their plans and strategies too. If you do it from there,
you fractalize it down, you totally get the concept.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually brilliant. And you know what's cool is the company I work for got acquired by another company. There's a whole bunch of background around it that's interesting for another time. But we basically are a like network of consulting companies all over the world, and it's mostly technology focused. So they're technology consultants, and we're actually the only one that's go-to-market business focused. So we're the only ones thinking about AI in the business way. Everyone else is thinking about it in the technology, getting the data and moving the numbers way, and the robots and that kind of stuff.
Middle management and C-suite interpreting a technology they don't understand.
Yeah. So there's
in their misunderstanding of the technology, misapplying the technology, and about to make superior mistakes that will cost companies billions.
Yeah, that's actually that's really true.
You got to bring it up in your conversation. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Oh man, that's a really easy sale then.
Okay. Now take what I just said and go, all right, what are going to be the main issues C-suite and middle management will make trying to implement an AI? They will think it's a human and it's responsible for mistakes. No, it's not responsible. You tell it what to do, it's going to do exactly what you tell it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the person responsible is that C-suite member that told it to do those things. without a deeper understanding of how it affects the entire network of the business.
Right.
Cascading,
And
cascading effects.
right. And so we could actually create, because what I keep seeing is it's actually really good at, and I saw this like many years ago, it's quite good at doing probability timeline streams. So
Sure.
if you do that from a policies risk management planning perspective at the C-suite level, then you could predict the risks at different levels and then mitigate all of those.
And you should have enough reports existing in the database where you have the AI read all of the management reports and learn the management culture too through reports, which you will discover most of the reports that are written are vague and ineffective until a C-suite guy beats up somebody to write an effective report. Or they're complete total fallacies and lies. Now, you could design an AI strictly for oversight and risk management that can be implemented in the background through a security system that will watch management reporting systems and fact check on its own, which is a unique piece of software implementation that can be a forensic investigator inside the company always going on looking for theft and mistakes.
Oh, dude, that's like so my like shit.
Right.
That's actually sick.
That's a direct sell to risk management and corporate security because all the software, everything's all integrated into the emails, and you're just giving it the investigative protocols. And it'll feed its information to the actual internal investigator. And that means C-suite and board to have direct access to who might be fucking the company on purpose, who's a corporate spy, etc.
Yeah, I think Microsoft has some stuff like that where they'll like manage and monitor behaviors of employees and then see if they're breaking policies to some degree, or there's like it looks like they're downloading information they're not supposed to, or they're accessing files they're not supposed to. So there's some
full forensic investigating background AI. Always running.
Yeah, but don't you risk it just turning into like 1984 style with that?
It's already 1984. It was 1984 before the AI.
This is true. This is very true. But aren't we just magnifying and like supporting that happening more if I do that?
Sure, you are, but you give the risk management the counter risk of overlooking everything and not giving management freedom and always looking over, you then destroy corporate culture, which is why it's included at the rules, policies, and procedure levels that the investigative service has access to this at any point in time. And the board can institute immediate investigations instead of them taking months or years to do, in which people can cock block the information from getting out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's huge because corporate espionage is nuts.
Yep. And again, comes back to the rules, policies, and procedures. If everybody in the organization knows at the rules, policy, and procedures level, something can trigger a forensic AI to look at every aspect of your work. Okay. Now, the next thing is you work in tech. Do you deal with story points and other shit like that?
Sometimes with like, yeah, so I do like business intelligence and data analytics stuff. And so some of our, I don't personally do it, but I manage a vendor that does like story points for when we build out dashboards.
All right. Figure out a replacement for that clunky, worthless system. Figure out a replacement, as well as time management for people who abuse meetings.
Oh my God, dude, you're speaking my love language. This is great.
You can develop a system of Robert's rules run by the AI that the AI will say that's not something for this specific business meeting. Set up a meeting with somebody else and have that AI do a scan of time management for people who are abusive callers. It's a powerful management tool, isn't it?
Oh man, yeah, I would love that. There's like so many things that you do for optimizing meetings and cadence and time, like how you most optimally reach a goal, and then what meetings need to happen. There's like so much potential in that.
Right. Then they can't get mad at the person for cutting them off and creating a toxic office environment because the AI is forcing them to stay on task. Brain churning. You're like, I could do this.
But doesn't that become like annoying? I mean, like sometimes it's nice to go off
Yeah,
track.
but as an AI programmer, you can make it not annoying. Okay?
Okay.
Really can. You can make it very personable and have it have flashing lights, off topic, remain on topic. This meeting is scheduled and there are other meetings that are scheduled. And if you delay this meeting an hour, you delay this much by the end of the week. Okay? They have to see the cascading effect of abusive meetings so that everybody says, hey, if you go over an hour here, by Friday, everybody's going to be 5 hours over.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay?
That's really good because that same module would help a lot with project planning.
Yep. Yep. Okay. How much is your project planning are people in the lower levels who just don't know how to use tools?
Oh, quite a lot actually, especially these days. Like our firm overall, I would say, is quite behind the curve. Like they're catching up and they're happy that I'm there helping them catch up. But I would be amazed. You're amazed. It's quite amazing, like at Microsoft, especially because people are agnostic, or they're not agnostic. They're quite attached to Microsoft tools. And I like build project plans in fucking PowerPoint. And I'm like doing project tracking on these tools that aren't actually meant for what I'm doing. So there's a lot of wasted time doing that. So building custom tools is actually a big part of my proposal.
All right, so what you can do is sit down with an AI you already know that's very easy and have it make short 1, 2, and 5 minute videos on a specific use of the tool and make a archive of tool pieces, and you could develop it as a class level 101, 102 to these particular tools and just have the AI do it and create a video of how to click on this button, because most people need to be shown, take the mouse, put it here, click this to click this to click this, and it's the structure.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I was thinking a little bit about that, but not to that granularity. That's great.
Because it's short. If you go online on YouTube, the most videos, tech videos with the most hits are the ones where the guy's on the screen, click here, click here, click here,
Yep,
click here.
this is true.
And if you look at the analytics, they pause every time you go to click and hit play again. Okay. You might even be able to get management to actually have a programmer do it for the entire team, so every tool has a video, a short video to it. Okay, but your AI should be able to create it on its own. Okay,
Right.
the AI
Eventually,
should be able to learn the tool and everything, all the tools on it, and have it say a visual creation of click to click to click on a standard Microsoft user interface desktop.
Yep.
Okay. Now, one last thing, you've gotten good at public speaking, I take it?
I've gotten much better at it, and I really enjoy it, and it's actually something that's calling out a lot.
Okay. Have you ever used a teleprompter?
No, not really, no.
If you have any tablet, you can get them to be a teleprompter. There's a teleprompter software for it, and then you can get a little hand thing that moves it up and down. It would be a really good idea for you to start using that, and you can just have a tablet or a PC that's open. Obviously, get as big a screen as you can, and roll up and down. It will improve your ability to get every idea across big time. Okay.
Okay, that's yeah, I like that a lot.
It could just be your PowerPoint that you know like the back of your hand, but as you get questions and answers and interruptions and disturbances, you go back to where you left off and you make sure you don't miss anything. And again, your teleprompting information is what you put into it. It could be just the document you're working off of. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you actually get up on stage, do as an actual teleprompter itself. If you do any actual, on stage speaking, ask for a teleprompter.
Okay.
It'll next level your ability to interact with people.
Okay, yeah, I've been looking for tips kind of for how to do that. So that's great. Thank you.
Yeah. I do a lot of public speaking, so that's the way I do it.
Yeah, it's good, man. And it's always so easy to like have the ideas alone with a whiteboard and make it's like so clear in my head, but then when people ask questions, it throws me off, or when
Uh-huh.
people can't track as quickly as I can, or they're just not as familiar with it as I am. So I have to
Yeah.
like I'm learning like to what degree I need to communicate things and what the best way is at what level and what diagrams I need and all that sort of thing.
Have you ever seen those high school digital whiteboards? Did you go to school with those? I didn't have those. We had chalkboards.
Oh yeah, sure, I've seen those.
Um, inquire on getting one of your own for your own home.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah,
little
because that would
expensive.
just help.
Yeah, but you could do your stories on it, your brainstorming, drawing, everything.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
funny that you say that because literally during this conversation, I just filled up 2 large whiteboards with notes and I ran out of space.
Okay. That's me reading it. Go get yourself a digital whiteboard. Okay.
Yeah,
The teacher
yeah, I think it
graphic.
might. It's a
Uh,
good call.
get a big one too. Don't get a little one. Okay.
Okay.
Get a wall,
Okay.
or you got to walk up to it. Shit like that.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Okay. So back to C-suite. Would probably be a good idea for you to look for some books out there that talks about C-suite management, just to refresh yourself with some of the situations. And if you ever find yourself working with um, a law firm, there's a tremendous implementation for law firms to, let's just say, give their special users who are their paralegal researchers the most advanced research tools that exist. We do not want lawyers to use AI to write actual court documents. We have seen hundreds, if not thousands, of failures. Are you
Uh-huh.
familiar with the Young Thug trial going on in Atlanta?
No.
Well, Atlanta's a hotbed of weird corruption going on in the courts. So, Young Thug, a rapper, in 2015 was accused of murdering somebody, and it's finally coming to court in 2024. They've been in court a year and a half for this RICO trial. And the
Okay.
prosecution is using AI tools to write all of their stuff, and they look like 2-year-olds presenting to senior citizens. Okay. They're terrible, terrible. And if you could find a way to get a law firm to understand AI is not meant for the way lawyers are using it, it is meant for file management, data management, and research for the paralegals. And that means paralegals become super users. Okay? Something
Yeah.
to think about. Okay?
So you don't think it's good for writing stuff, but it's good for helping you like expedite the research and consolidation process.
It can be used for some of the writing, but not all of it. Not all of it. Every court has a different style in which the AI doesn't know that this judge likes this style. It's the paralegals that know all that information. And the AI
Uh
can just give the bullet points of what for them to write on, and then the paralegal does the double check to make sure the AI didn't make a mistake.
yeah, I don't really do much with law stuff. Like we're not too involved in that.
Yeah, but it's something you can keep on side as a project and in a brainstorm meeting saying, "Hey, I have an idea to present a tool to a law firm that could make us millions."
Oh, yeah, that's always nice.
It's a
Uh,
back
the,
pot,
the,
a back
the,
project.
yeah, I mean, I've got like 8 of those.
Yeah.
The thing is though, is like when you work with lawyers now, it's just like the liabilities just start shooting through the roof.
Right. That's why you're giving the paralegals making paralegals super users.
I see. And then that's not too in the nit and gritty, but
No
it's just more
risk,
about,
no risk there because the paralegal does all the check and rechecking.
yeah, that
Just
actually should be that.
it's just understanding the paralegal's job and making the AI do their work faster and making them more effective person.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good description for how AI should be doing everything.
Yes, how it should be doing everything. It's how to make that person a super user within their job description.
Okay. Yeah, that's great. I love that. Actually, it's a good complement to the risk stuff too, because you probably will want some modules to have law awarenesses, especially as policies change in the laws, and you don't want the AIs trying to suggest that you break laws.
Most big companies have a corporate lawyer, so you
Right.
can make a special module for the corporate lawyers, paralegals, to be master document organizers, master document creators, the master document managers. That's what they do. And the security behind that. You'd be surprised how many law firms are still using Windows 97 Word. Quite literally.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Cheap ass bastards, let alone network security. Okay? Only recently did the top law firms really learn because they all got hacked. Okay? And corporate thievery is at its highest levels now, and everything is in the corporate documents defining a new piece of technology, how it works, where it goes, plans, etc. Lawyers are holding all that shit, and they need something to act as a digital safe bank and a master to that digital safe bank.
All right. This is really interesting.
All right, man. It's great talking to you. It's a lot of food for thought there. You go back and listen to the recording too and catch anything we missed.
I most definitely will. I have so many other questions, but it'll come another time, and this is a lot to work on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Andrew.
You're welcome, and good luck writing too.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it, man. Have a great one. Thanks, everyone.
Take it easy.
Thank you. So we're going to bring one more caller on tonight. We've got Sam. Signal to unmute.
How's it going, guys?
There we go. Hi, Sam. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, really good. Thank you. So you called in. When was the last time you called in? Was it a month ago?
No, it was similar to Daniel. It was about 3-4 months ago. It was like April, May.
Oh, yes. So how are things going? Because I think we talked about your diet, didn't we? And a few things. How are things going since the last calling?
Well, when we spoke last, I was absolutely frazzled, going a mile a minute. Just extreme tension headaches, and I ended up having a bit of a suspected transient ischemia attack. It felt like a little mini stroke episode. I had all the tests done, I've had a scan, there's nothing there, there's no tumours, there's nothing there. I took a big hit not long after that call. I did do the dietary changes. I'm eating consistently 40 grams of protein every day now. Good variety. So I've got lamb, got venison at the moment, got beef, salmon, kippers, chicken. So pretty decent spread. I went for the colonics, and I almost reached out to you for this, Dale, because it's like, if you've been local. I had a really hard time getting back-to-back colonics. Like, I wanted to ask, like, what are the magic words we're saying to a colonic hydrotherapist? It's like, hey, I want like 3 to 4 colonics in a row. Because all they say is, my training doesn't allow that. It's like, well, okay, but they work. Yeah, well, they're for detox retreats, and we don't really do them. Your body can't handle them.
So how much did you want? So how many colonics did you ask for?
I wanted 3 in a row.
For in how long? Like over the period of how many days?
3 days.
So that would be too much.
None of them are that. You got to give at least 2. Unless you know the colonics person and they know you and your gut.
Did you say 2 days, Andrew?
So it's really about knowing the person. Okay, you got to remember that person that's doing colonics has an insurance, and the insurance says what they can and can't do. And if you go to somebody the very first time and you've never had colonics before, and you're going to tell them you want to do 3 in a row, they're going to tell you no. But if you do one with them and they see how good you are at it or how bad you are at it, they might change their mind.
And I honestly think as well, Sam, the state you were in after that, I don't think you would have been able to handle 3 colonics in a row.
Nope. After the first 2 in a row, you would have gotten really sick.
Yeah.
It puts you in shock. It puts you in deep shock because I've done it, Sam. I overdid the colonics at a time when I wasn't 100% well, and it really takes you back.
That was the trick, Laura. That was the trigger for my transient ischemia attack, because like the next day I was due to have a day off, and I pushed on, and that was like the beginning of like a real difficult month for me. So it does make sense.
So as I remember, Sam, as well, like what I advised was for you to build yourself up first before you did anything. And I remember saying that you were either going to end up in hospital if you didn't have obviously the changes which were going to happen. But I think what's happened is you went into it too fast, and you needed to actually build yourself up with food and power and strength first. Then I think I recommended doing all the gut cleanse after that. And I think you've gone into it too fast, where you didn't actually build yourself up, eat the right food for a long period of time, allow yourself to adjust to actually eating again, eating right, not starving yourself. And you going through that colonic was just disaster because you weren't built up enough to be able to go through the detox. Andrew, is there anything you want, or Laura, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, so where are you at now?
In terms of gut health,
Yes.
it's okay. It can definitely stand to improve. I mean, it's definitely improved from 3 or 4 months ago, because the reason I did go in sooner than you suggested, Dale, was because I was getting quite bad bloating, and I needed to do something. It was getting
It's because you were acidic. Okay. What I can recommend, if you ever find yourself in that situation again, and the situation you're in right now, is to take dietary enzymes, digestive enzymes. Do you know what those are?
Yeah, I used to use a company, Puredyne. You familiar with them?
Yeah, and Enzatite. There's a whole bunch of them. The ones you take before a meal, not ones you take every day. Okay. So they're tablets that you take just before your meal. Those are the best dietary enzymes out there to create long-lasting gut health changes. So whatever your diet's at now, the only thing you're going to add is dietary enzymes, and try to just remember to take them 10 minutes to 20 minutes before you eat. If you take them while you eat, they still work. They're just not as effective. Okay. And the next thing is acidity is going to be your ongoing challenge. What you're going to discover is one day you're acidic, one day you're not. 2 days you're acidic, 5 days you're not. And the only really way to balance that is the next level of measuring the levels of fluids that you're bringing in and looking at the food, what's acidic and what's not. There might be a time you need to eat acidic food to counter acid. And then there are other times you're going to need maybe to add less fruits and vegetables and fiber. The challenges of where you were to where you're at, fiber is going to be the next ongoing challenge for you. And over-the-counter fiber pills are generally terrible for people who are in a situation like you. Do you still have bloating at all?
I can bring it on, but I've eliminated wheat, and I've eliminated refined sugar, and that's helped a lot.
Right. Well, that means you're on essentially a no-carb diet, right?
It's a modified paleo.
So what carbs are you having?
Now you question me on it. Not a great deal. My main vegetable I eat is broccoli.
Okay.
So no carbs in that.
All right. So do you have pasta or anything like that?
Well, no, because that's wheat based. It's grain based. I've eliminated grains.
You completely eliminated the grains. All right. So broccoli is great. Are you familiar with I'm having a brain fart? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Was it a type of broccoli?
Other fibrous stuff that you want to add to your diet. Broccoli is just one kind of fiber. You need other types of fiber in your diet.
I've heard you say in the past, like on very old shows, kale is like a snowplow. Is that what you're reaching for?
If you prepare it right, yep, and have it in large volumes on a basis.
Are you on about psyllium husk, Andrew?
I think that's too strong for him right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Just having it in the food he eats regularly is going to be more important combined with the digestive enzymes.
Okay.
What are you doing for a job?
So I've got a few things on the go, project-wise. I'm freelance. I write for a psychotherapy clinic. I write the blogs for SEO blogs. I've also got a book project, which we essentially, I have a writing part. I'm writing it with the doctor who is the CEO of the clinic that I write for and with. We essentially, and she's a media psychologist, so she's got a decent profile and a decent social media following. We've been approached multiple times, or she has. I'm like, we're locked in, like we're writing partners. We're writing a book on narcissism because that's what all her content is around. And we've got the proposal, we just need a sample chapter. I write the blog, and then I've got my own like spiritual, like my own healing stuff. I do the quantum healing, the hypnosis stuff. Just finishing off rebuilding my website because I lost it last year. It's a whole episode. I won't unpack that. I've just started a YouTube channel to begin promoting that and to funnel people into a email list, both for the book and for my services. I do have help. I've got people helping me. I also have a absolute shit ton of voice notes for the past 4 years, and I've just got some help transcribing them to create a big database because I want to create my own large language model, which is me basically, that can serve as my own personal assistant. So I'm in that creative writery world.
Okay. What are some of your projects just for you, writing wise?
When you say just for me, do you mean detached from monetary interest, or just my mind, regardless of money?
Correct, regardless of money, yes.
Regardless of money. So I'm doing a 12-month mentorship with a really cool wisdom teacher I met last year. And my morning practice at the moment is I'll do some light breath work, very light, slow breath work. I do my own version of a spinal cord meditation. I do my prayers. And then at the end, I'll voice note a piece which came up in relation to like my prayers that day. I'll transcribe that, and then that will go on the school portal. And that's kind of like, off the top of my head, that's the only thing that's not attached to any monetary outcome right now. I do need more. I know I need more. I need to find that joy. I know where this is going. I need to find that passion spark again.
Okay. So your passion spark is there. It's just divided into many smaller pieces, which then are fractalized out. And you believe yourself to be a master multitasker, and you can be, but there are certain subject matters you shouldn't multitask, where the entire you needs to be there. Example, this writing a book with the other person. If it just needs an opening paragraph, the two of you should have written it the day you guys got the offer, in all reality. Yeah, if it literally just needs a sample chapter, the two of you should have brainstormed the chapter and just wrote it, rewrote it, wrote it, rewrote it, and then had it ready and let it sit on the table for a few days, reread it and redo it, and then send it right away. It's so key in business that you have this flash response, especially to a hot button topic like narcissists. Okay? You can make a specialized website that has a little tool in it, how to deal with an AI. Is your narcissist partner like this or this? You type this in and make a little questionnaire, software-based questionnaire that rates it at the end of the test. Your partner is narcissist level 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's all sorts of psychological terminologies and little Q&A things you can build into the website that can go direct with the book. and you could pitch that direct to the publisher, blow their minds. If you weren't so divided, you would have seen that in the moment that you guys were given that opportunity.
Yeah, I think that was a bit out of my reach, if I'm being honest.
How is it out of your reach?
Not that particular type of creativity.
No, but your partner is.
She also dominates proceedings quite a lot. Like, she's a big talker, and it's difficult for me to get stuff in.
Okay, because your passion's not there and you're a follower to her. So you're really not a partner. You're a secondary to her.
The book split is 50-50 in terms of revenue, but yeah, the arrangement has...
But the relationship's not a 50-50 relationship.
No, it's not.
Okay. My advice to you is have a sit down with her and go, we need to act on this chapter writing offer of the book today, tomorrow, the weekend, and get it done and let it sit there and percolate in our minds and then send it off as fast as possible. Do not wait anymore. The corporate world moves very fast until the next great idea is out there. Narcissism is a big, huge topic this year. Okay? And if you present her some of the ideas I said, because she can go right to the DSMO, which is the standard medical test of rating a person's narcissist, grab some of the questions out there and have somebody write literally a script program that just takes question 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and adds a score to it at the end. Okay, that you don't need to do that. You could have a programmer do that for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's templates that do it automatically in Microsoft Word. Okay. That have somebody else do it, but you can pitch that along with the book. So the book will come with a website that gets you to rate narcissisms or read additional stuff beyond what's in the book there. Therefore, that adds up to a monthly, where if you buy the book, you get a month free on the website and its advice. And then after that, they pay. And then you're pitching that to the publisher. And not only is there the price of the book with the follow-up membership that comes with it, which is going to be built into the online version of the book. Here's business marketing 101.
So
you just can't see this stuff.
Yeah, so it's selling an ecosystem rather than just...
Yeah. And then when it comes to your other stuff, the spiritual practice that you're in and the recording, all that's great. But what's the grander goal with it? Where do you want to be in a year with that practice?
A lot of those voice notes contain my own material.
Sure.
I really have been looking to consolidate everything that I've been creating for a long time. Because
all right, then you need, like the last caller, you need an AI transcriptor.
I have that.
Instead of all the transcription.
There's someone who's actively doing that as we speak. They're transcribing all the files right now.
Okay, great. How many hours did you save yourself in transcription?
Sorry?
How many hours would you have saved yourself from physically typing out all those voice messages?
Well, I've already saved hundreds of hours by voice typing, but I'm also saving tens, maybe hundreds of hours in uploading, downloading, and so on.
Quite literally. You're saving yourself thousands of hours by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Okay. And that means you're going to go back and rapid read and reread and listen to the voice files, and all of a sudden have all this available knowledge in which you can start creating what I call document surgery. Grabbing a paragraph from here, a paragraph from there, and a paragraph from another document, and putting together a coherent page, because it's all relatively the same thought and idea and concept.
Mm-hmm.
When it's already pre-written from the voice order, the rest of it is making sure that the transitionary sentences connect to them, which is simple.
Yeah, and everything's very well labeled as well. I've got all my concepts.
Good.
All labeled.
It's easy to do document surgery, and the next thing you know, you'll have hundreds of pre-written pages.
Yeah.
Okay. Laura, Dale, you guys want to add anything?
Yeah, Sam, I was just going to ask you, was it one TIA you had?
He didn't have any, actually.
Oh, sorry, I thought he said he did.
He thought he did, but they all the medicals came back fine.
Oh, okay. All right.
He actually what I thought had was a heart palpitation from rapid detox.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right. Okay.
Can I just
into an anxiety overload?
Yeah. And can I just say, Sam, your voice comes like so different from the last few times you called in. You can actually hear your voice now. I don't know what about you, Laura, from because you were on. I don't think Andrew was on the last show with Sam. You sound so different.
I've gone through a huge transformation.
Yeah.
The past few weeks with Lionsgate especially. This week's a bit crunchy, but I generally feel like a brand new human being in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Laura, is there anything you want to add there?
No, it's just great to see the changes.
Yeah, it really is. You've actually applied it to yourself, because we do have callers who call in time and time again, and as they call, you'd be like, have you done what we said the last 5 times, and they don't do it. So it's so nice to actually see you're using application and making the choice to change. And obviously there's a few things you need to do, a few bolts you need to tighten and so on. But yeah, great work, man. Well done.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for calling in, Sam. And yeah, call in a few months' time and see where you're at.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Sam. Take care now.
Bye now.
Bye.
Great show, guys.
Yeah, great show.
Really, really good. So, Andrew, how can people get a hold of you for sessions?
You go to my website, andrewbartzis.com, have a session, sign up we have a mentorship class that is starting this week. Last chance to sign up for the mentorship level 1, 2, and 3.
Beautiful. Laura?
Yes, if you'd like a session with me, come and meet your ancestors, get some guidance, use shamanic practices to get self-empowered. Laura2feathers@gmail.com. That's with the number 2. And also don't forget, guys, there's been emails going out about our Living the Mystical Life Daily number 3 event. That's in Oregon, the 26th to the 29th of October. That is going to be really exciting. So have a look out for the email or email me and I'll send you some details.
Thank you, Laura. And if anybody would like a soul surgery session for myself, head over to daletobin.com. I'm also doing ancestral medium training coming up. So I'd just like to say again, thank you everyone for the support. Please hit the subscribe, like button. And if you're listening in the future,